Hajimashite. Okay, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back and do the left hand because I had spoken about the right hand of this particular song in the last video. I made two clips out of a longer video, and I really do see that there are people who are really more curious about the music theory than the music production. So I'm still debating. I want to get into the more production side, but I also realize that there are people here who are kind of unsure that in order to get into music production, the music theory is also a very vital point to get to that stage. I see that this is now the biggest problem of all. How do you move from point A to point B? So I'm giving you guys the entirety, even though I charge a reasonable amount of money for private music classes, which is what I usually do. I'm giving you guys these classes right now at this time, not all the information, some of the information for free. I want YouTube to work, and I want you guys to appreciate what I'm doing, and the 38 years or longer, the 42 years of my music education, training, and lifestyle that I have lived up to this very point in teaching people how to do it for themselves. I'm half taught and half musically trained. A lot of the music theory comes from the musical education. The music production, the music composition has nothing to do with the education that I had. So the music theory is what I've studied. I studied the music theory. I went to many schools, both public and private schools that had a very good music education background. So my mom was a music teacher. This was part of our lifestyle, and this is something that we had to do as our lifestyle. This was not something, we didn't have a choice. This was something that was ingrained into our minds. This is something we had to do. So everybody comes from a different background. Don't judge a book by its cover. Music was just part of my lifestyle as growing up as a child because of my mom's background. That's what we did. That's what we studied. Me and my sister grew up in a musical background. So this is something that it's a generational thing. It was sent down from my mom's generation and generations before her. So we come from a family of musical people. It's just what we do. I didn't say one day, oh, I want to be a musician. It was just, you get up in the morning, you study your music, and you learn what you are taught. And obviously, as a rebel as I was, I wanted to do that, but I also wanted to learn how to do things for myself and how to compose music. Now there are different schools and categories that education is different now than it was when I grew up. So it's a different kind of scenario. I just thought maybe I should give you guys a bit of a background of beyond why I'm doing this. It's just what I was raised as. I was raised as a musician in a musical background. So this is what I do. This is what I do. And to all the people that are trying to follow me, who are trying to get me to pay for, I don't know, boosting my YouTube channel, please don't do that. This is not the space for me to use to get people to have me pay for them to help me. This is something I'm doing for myself. I am not here to pay people to boost me. That is not what I'm here for. I'm trying to help people who are trying to help themselves through music. I have other skills, as I've mentioned, but music is the focal point. I have ordered a mini keyboard, and the mini keyboard, once it arrives, I'll unbox it and I'll show you guys, and I will start plugging the new items in, and then all my little miniature setup that I'll do for a portable studio. That will be like my next video. It will be arriving hopefully on Wednesday, so I can kind of take apart this stuff and then put it back together as a portable kind of setup. I have my mic here, which is a good mic. The Spark mic that I'm going to put together, I'm going to use the Yamaha AG06 Bluetooth headphones, and then I do have my Roland like portable speaker that we can probably connect in there too. My whole goal was to actually do a portable like studio space where you didn't need like cables, but I think we're still getting to that stage where we would still need some more cables for the MIDIs. The MIDIs still need cables and connections. So once like a new thing happens where you can't, like you no longer need that, that would be great. People should come up with, like the companies need to start coming up with the Bluetooth audio inputs. That would be super cool. That's like, if somebody could do that, that'd be wonderful. I'm like down for that. I would purchase it like on the spot. That would be great, because we all need portability. Like I want to just pack my stuff like on a trip and then just carry it with me, and then boom, I have the whole setup without cables. That's like my goal. That's like the goal, is to have that, because yeah, that's where I'm seeing the technology going now. You know, now we can start looking at the Bluetooth aspect. Okay, let's go into this. We're going to go back into this piece. Now we're going to do the left hand. So how you go about doing the left hand, once again, I pull out my sheets, remembering the circle of fifths, the circle of fifths, the external, the outside of it, the major scales. The inside of the circle are the minor scales. Okay. I already know how to read music, but this is for people who are still trying to figure out how to identify how to write the notes in, okay? So I can tell you what these are on the spot. I could probably even sight read this, and I compose the piece. So I can sight read, compose the piece, and all of the things that I'm teaching you guys I can do already. I can do it with my eyes closed, okay? So let's go into this. Okay, spaces and lines. Don't forget, remember we were talking about, okay, so I already know that the treble clef is E, G, B, D, F on the lines, and the bass clef is G, B, D, F, A. Now, if you don't know that already, you're trying to figure out how I know that. I know that because let me show you. I think we spoke about this before, okay? So, lines and spaces. I don't do all cows eat grass or good boys do fine, because, like I said in another video, that is not how I teach people. So, over here, okay? I know I don't have the slideshows and presentations, but I have my notes, and I think my notes are just as qualified or as good as, yeah, these are big enough to actually display and show. So you have C, E, G, B, D, F lines in the right hand, left hand. E, G, not a C. Even though it looks like a C, this is an E. E, G, B, D, F, and A at the top, okay? E, G, B, D, F, A, if you were going to do it that way. E, G, B, D, F. C, E, G, B, D, F. And then, right, so I didn't write this in. This is E, G, B, D, F, A. And then treble clef with the spaces, D, F, A, C, E, G. Okay? And then spaces, the spaces at the bottom in the left hand, F, A, C, E, G, B. Okay, you guys can stop that if you need that. You can stop and then just look at what I'm doing here. Okay, that's how you read the left hand and the right hand, lines and spaces. Okay, now that we've gone through that, and if you do need guidelines, go back to this and revise. Okay. So this is lines and spaces. Okay, I know, my fur baby's there, and my half a mannequin is there standing in that position. Okay. D, A. Okay. And then A. E. E. Okay, that's E you're holding, that's a tie. I don't know if you guys can see this, I'll show it to you just now. A. Okay, and automatically as you go along and when you keep practicing how to write the notes, the faster it gets. And then before you know it, you won't have to write them in. You'll just automatically in your brain, it would snap and click. Okay, A, D, hold, right? And then this is an F. F, hold, that's a tie, tie. A, no, C. It's a space. Okay, so now we're going into spaces. C, C, F. Oh, this is a G, sorry. This is a G. G, F, C, C, F, tie, hold, G, B. Okay, that's a B, it's a B, lower B, E. Okay, and then you get faster at it. This is for the people who are still trying to figure out how to go about reading music, okay? B, C, that's a C, that's an A. D, A. That's an F. And E, D. Okay. And done. So the left hand is written down. But you have to get to the point where you understand how to do that first before you move into understanding class. We'll go ahead and rewrite this in the way I actually want it played. So I'll go ahead and do that next. I'll show you that I can write music down too. So that will be the next thing, music theory and writing it down. I didn't write this down. This is A. Hold that. Okay, and then B. D. Hold. This is an E and a G. And then D, A, F, and then D, okay? So in order to learn a piece, this is the way to break it down. It's actually the easiest way. And when I was studying music, I remember when I went to different music schools, they automatically assumed that I knew the scales. And that was the biggest question, is why didn't anybody teach me the scales? Probably because they assumed that I knew it. So I know, because they kept missing the scales with me, that was the first thing that I needed to teach my students, is learning the scales. It was bizarre and ironic that I had never been shown by any of the teachers that I had how the scales actually worked, and that was it was just like they just automatically assumed I knew it, and it wasn't the case. This was the one thing that I kept missing to learn. So I know that once you understand where the scales fit in and how to read the music with the scales and use a scale chart, like something they didn't teach me either. I wasn't taught to use a scale chart to use the scale chart to learn how to put the music down, but these become very valuable. Like I said, I would give you guys these if you take classes with me. I'm not, you can look at these, but I'm not, like, I might eventually put the book together. I'm still debating on it. Yeah, because there's a lot in here that I would have to kind of put together for that. I mean, I guess I could do it still, but I really would need to hone in on how to manifest this vision more carefully. Anyway, going back to the thing, yeah, I was never really taught the scales. And all of my teachers were like, this is in C major, this is in D major, and they never gave me the physical visuals. Like, I never had the visuals to understand how it worked. So I know that this is an important thing. So just going back into this, you know, they taught me to just automatically play what I saw on the piece of paper, never to write the notes in, because in college like classes, you will never be able to do this. This is something they don't allow you to do this, but I recommend it because it was for me a very useful skill to do if you're still learning and you're wanting to learn the theory side of things. The next video that I do is going to be the unboxing of my, like a mini portable, like it has a drum beat pad, and it also has a mini keyboard, and we're going to kind of put those together, and I'm going to take apart and put back together a portable studio now that I have the parts together. And then I will give you guys a list of those things if you want like a small studio setup. Yeah, it's great to have like keyboards, but you don't need like the whole keyboard. I even have an electronic ukulele, and we're going to test it out to see if we can plug that in. And if it works, it's a mini electronic it's an electric ukulele. I don't know if you guys know that there are actually electric ukuleles. So because my hands are too small for a normal size guitar, I chose to buy this for the purpose of, I haven't really practiced or used it, but I want to show you guys that there is a portable, like you can carry this around on like trips and stuff. So I was going to use this with the portable, like I have a mini portable keyboard that I've just purchased. This you can get on Amazon as well. I think I got this on Amazon. So if you guys have small fingers like me, maybe you want to consider an electric. I can plug it in. I mean, it's all connected, but I'm going to, that will be like the next video. We're going to unbox the other pieces, and we're going to put together a mini portable studio space. So you can carry your microphone, and you can carry a mini ukulele, or you can just carry a normal ukulele. Electronic ukulele is cool because you can plug it into the software and you can adjust the sound. So that would be kind of like a useful tool to have. I think I got this for $100 and something. The guitars were a little bit more expensive, $500 and up. The mini ukulele is a usable, user-friendly item. I think it's a very cool asset. There are not as many. There are only 4 strings, of course, and a guitar has about like 7 or 6 or 7 strings. So that's the goal. So for the next one, we'll talk about putting together and how it's going to work. So in the meantime, like and subscribe. Know that I don't come from just somebody who just happened to want to learn music. I mean, music just is in my family. I've grown up with music. That's just how it's been. So music has always been part of my life, and without music I will be lost. So I'm just sharing the news of what I know already, and hopefully it will trigger somebody to follow through with a dream or practice, or know that, you know, music is not just a gift. Music is hard work. You have to work towards success. I'm still learning, working towards success, but all of the stuff that I have here, it's not a huge studio space, I admit. But, you know, if I was living with my parents still, and I still had the studio space that they built for me, I probably would have more equipment, but I chose not to do that because I didn't want to live with my parents for the rest of my life. I thought that would be madness. So I started over again, and when I started over, I had lots of work, and I was working hard towards building up equipment and making it happen for myself. And if I can do it, this is my motto, if I can do it, you can do it. And if you have the will, there's always a way. And there you go. That's the moral of the story here. Arigatou gozaimashita. Mata shita sayonara. Jane bye-bye. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. So you know, don't just see me with all this stuff. Know that it took work to get to this point. It's not overnight. You have to build this up gradually. You know, it took me 3.5 years to build this up with Guitar Center, and then I'm still building. With earning whatever I earn goes into either the clothing or music equipment, which is what I'm doing. So that's that's how it works, folks. That's how it works. It doesn't just come overnight. You don't just miraculous, like I don't play the ukulele. I can definitely learn stuff on here. You know, I have a book. I have a practice book. I can even show you how that's done. I could probably even teach you guys how to play it with my little practice book. We can learn together if that's what you're interested in. And I will speak to you guys in the next one.